Hey, what's going on, America? Let's try to get some more of my story in here. In Louisiana, got a load, got a job over here this week, and kind of hard to start recording. I got to put my phone on airplane mode to do it. It's like they want to keep me from getting my story out, but I'm talking about the corruption that I'm going through. After the assault, I managed to get myself back to safety in the house. I went and called my brother to come get him because he was up still moving around out there. And then I tried to call 911, but I guess I accidentally dialed 9119, but they had made a story up saying that I dialed 911 and was saying something. How did they even know that I tried to dial 911? I'm sitting in my room on my bed when I tried to dial 911, but I dialed 9119, and I showed my lawyer that on my phone. So how did they know that I even tried to call 911? Like they were illegally surveillancing me anyway. And what are you surveillancing me for with all that traffic going on across the street? Day in and day out, all night, all day, every day. You surveillancing me, but you missed all that illegally. And in my room, I'm in my room when I tried to call 911. I guess I got dizzy after that, and I guess passed out from the concussion. Had a huge knot this side of my head. Then they were telling you they plastered my face all over the news. You can tell that I had a concussion in my eyes then. See if I can. I got my book date and date I got out, the time of the booking. And see, let's just you can see the concussion in my eyes if you can see it on the picture good. I got all this stuff in my phone. Booking date 12/12/2020. 9:22 a.m. So when I finally got my phone back, and then release date 3 days later, they kept me in there 3 days. One baloney excuse after another. I had to use my credit card to get out. Kept giving one excuse after another. Oh, we got to notify the victim. We can't let nobody out after 5 or 5:30 the next day. And then this during COVID, so everything was done via phone. Where was the judge? I mean, this COVID, everybody on lockdown. They waited all day. You can hear in the jail cells. They waited all day. They let some little white kid out like right at 15 minutes before the time they said they can't let nobody. Why can't you let nobody out after 5 p.m. or 5:30 p.m., whichever one it was? You can't, and waited it because I still had that huge knot on my head where I got hit with the weapon. They wanted to give me some ice. I asked for medical attention. They denied me that, and I couldn't lay on this collarbone. I guess it came down here and hit me. This was sore, and the rib on this side was sore on my left side. I couldn't lay on there, just in there in pain for 3 days. No help, no nothing. But how did they know I tried to call 911? It made up that story. So I showed my lawyer that on my phone, what I dialed out, it says now it was my brother. Everything I'm saying, I can show proof to. All they gonna give you lies and then holler about and talk about using those words about incompetent, crazy, try to call me that, but everything I'm saying, I got proof of. I'm incompetent when 4th, 5th grade, we got Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo. I got a blue ribbon. It was a competition, art competition they used to have every year. I don't know how many schools was involved, but they don't give the crazy one the blue ribbon. The incompetent one the blue ribbon. I understood the assignment. Drew a bull. I think his name was Bodacious, famous bull back in the day, with a cowboy riding it. So got blue ribbon that year. I think the 5th grade year I only got the white ribbon. Junior high, 6th, 7th, 8th grade. And Brenham is a 5A school. I'm a first chair trumpet player. The incompetent person don't get first chair in band. That goes to the gifted or the one who understood the assignment. One who's playing the trumpet or the instrument right. And that's what I'm saying about me going to school for electrical engineering. My TOS scores, high school, academic recognition, TOS math. Incompetent people don't get academic recognition and TOS math. Task exempt to any college that they wanted to go to back at that time. So they could miss me with that. It's Sunday. What's the day? The 14th of December. Get up for a load in the morning. All of a sudden, I'm speaking my truth. They want me to come in for the probation or whatever. First, they saying it wasn't going. It wouldn't interfere with my work. Tried to make me take the fall for everything. Oh, now they want me to come in. No, it's been rough on me, but I'm not gonna flip out. Bills behind. Had to get lawyers. First lawyer was corrupt. Second lawyer, he talking about he gonna get this national attention. All that went away. That never happened. And eventually I'm gonna get to all the people involved. Like I was telling you the story with the IRS. I was starting my company. My name came back as a Michael Wilson Jr. We don't have that in the family, but that goes to my aunt telling me that I was left in a will. And I found out that they already went to court and split that money up. I never knew about it, but my uncle's R's wife, she told me, she said, don't tell them that I told you. A few weeks after that, she's no longer with us. All of them went to the funeral. So I'm thinking that might have something to do with this too, which makes it another corrupt judge and family lawyer to make that happen. Maybe they using that incompetent. Maybe there was an excuse they used to steal my inheritance. Still on the wheel, because me going to college, what better reason for the money than my education, my electrical engineering degree. It wasn't the grades. The grades, that part was easy. My mom had 5 kids and a single mother, so it was hard. I mean, she did what she could, but I mean, I had a grant on the classes, but still you need gas and food. Like I said, it was 5 of us, 5 siblings. One brother and 3 sisters. So, I mean, it was kind of hard, hard on us, hard just getting there, lunch, I couldn't afford the lunch package, hungry sometimes, but, my mama always kept enough. She kept us fed. But what better reason for my inheritance than my college education? Then got out. The 3 days passed. I ended up getting out of jail. And I went home, took a shower, and I went right to the police station to file charges. They took pictures of the big knot still on top of my head, the bruises on my chest, all that stuff. They said I couldn't file charges because he had already filed charges. The first lawyer said that was a lie. The assistant chief, he was a sergeant back then. He was bigger now, but I guess after the tummy tuck, he lost a little weight. He tried to keep my watch and my cross. I was hollering about, we got to keep it because it got blood on it, but I guess he wasn't expecting me to get out of jail, have a way to get out of jail. That's how they target individuals or whatever. I'll probably think, he doesn't have anyone. He's just gonna get a little court-appointed lawyer or something. Can't afford a lawyer. That's how they target people. I'm in a town by myself, all alone. But that was the excuse at first until I got a lawyer. Then I ended up finally getting my watch and my cross back, and that was with my phone. So whatever day the 15th was, fell on in 2020, that following Friday, that's when I ended up getting my phone back. Because when I got out, I tried to get my phone. They refused to give me my phone. I was like, do you give us consent to search your phone? They did not want to give me my phone back. I was like, no, I don't give you no consent to search my phone. They already illegally searched my home. So and then on that note too, when they search the home, they know that I don't have any weapons. They asked my ex, the first ex, does he have any weapons? I guess they were looking for that for more part of the setup. They say, no, they searched the home with no weapon. Only weapon was the one he had, the .40 caliber weapon, which they know you pulled on someone else in Burleson County. And I know they know because I called the prosecutors in Burleson County and in Robertson County and asked them, was that a .40 caliber weapon that he pulled on the guy in Burleson County? And then when he was sending me threats, me and the second ex, starts with the C, we went up to the police station together to file charges because he sent me threats. I got pictures of that in my phone with my name on them. Tell AJ I'm gonna send my boy to come get his ASS. Okay, he sent it to one of my cousins on social media, so that should be in the account. So I go try to file charges again. This is a little bit later. The cop up there told me to call the prosecutor's office and see if you can get it to where you only have to do it one time or some stuff like that. So I call the prosecutors in Robertson County. The guy sending me threats. I'm telling him he's following me. The day that I helped my mom move, she from her house to her stuff from the house to a storage, he followed me from Somerville, Texas. I'm telling the lawyers that this happened on more than one occasion. I'm at the bank one day. He pulled up at the bank. It's like almost like they had him tracking me and following me. I guess try to see if they could get a reaction, or he was just threatening me. I know he was threatening me, but they didn't do anything about it. And I was like, and I'm telling them, like, he just pulled a gun on somebody else in Burleson County. They had that covered up. So he going to court in 2 different counties, possibly for the same weapon. They had it all covered up. But he's always said since we were younger, if he got in trouble, all he had to do was call somebody. I guess because of the little cult that he initiated with, my grandma, one of them, she the only one don't talk about what they do, what the cult do or whatever. Speaking of that, the mayor tried to get me, in the middle of all this, the mayor of Robinson County tried to get me to join the cult or get me to come up there so they can do something to me. He pulled up in it was I'm fixing on my Caprice one day. I got an 88 Caprice. And it's driving up slow. I'm out by the road though, in front of the house. Because I got another channel, social media channel, where I fix cars, and a bass channel. He pulls up in a little small Isuzu or Mazda, a Mitsubishi, a Nissan truck, one of the little small truck. It might have been a car, but it's one of those foreign names, a little small truck, I want to say, smoking a cigarette. We got an open door policy. Come on down to the station. That was all he said, and pretty much drove off. I mean, just to fact check it, how would I know that he got that little small Isuzu truck or whatever? And how would I know that he smoked cigarettes? So I guess they tried to get me to join the cult or whatever. I'm gonna stick with Christ through it. I'm gonna stick with God. I'm not changing my faith. I'm gonna stick to my faith. And then it's all kind of stuff I went through in this situation. The first ex, they got the gang stalking, saying that when I got with the second ex, they got to telling her all kind of stuff. First it was, oh, he's controlling. I thought you should know. And every time they try something new, they would put, I just thought you should know on the end. We got to eventually laughing about that after I just started proving the stuff wrong. Then another lie came from the community. Oh, you know he's married, right? I've never been married a day in my life. And then I guess one of the first ex's cousin came to her. She said she was at the store or whatever. She said one of the first ex's cousin came to her and said, oh, the health department let it slip, but such and such is supposed to have HIV or whatever. I told her, I ain't talked to her in like 3.5, 4 years now, and I get tested for everything every year on the wellness checkup, and it always come back negative. Get tested every year. So that was, and we got tested after that. Right after I got tested, that's when me and her pretty much split ways. She ended up moving and getting her kids away from there because of some stuff happening at the school with a teacher, inappropriate stuff happening at the school with some of the teachers the girls was telling us about. And plus she was seeing some of the stuff that was going on with what I was going through, so she got her family away from there. So I'm in the process of doing the same thing. I'm an owner-operator now. It's my statement saying that I made like $34,000, probably $35,000 now. Last week I didn't make anything. I'm working every week now. Flatbed owner-operator. They make more money. I'm getting a $40. I got a $40 check to the bank, a $50 check to the bank, $60-some check to the bank. But my statement saying I done made $34,000, but I'm telling them something wrong. I mean, something got to be wrong. $34,000 and I'm not getting nothing to the bank. So something is, I'm looking at some of the stuff. I'm getting charged for fuel from the first week I've been there, on there multiple weeks, multiple charges for when my truck broke down in the same payment. But it's certain loads. That's why it got to be this little cult or whatever. They got a lot of little pull. Cause first I couldn't get a load on a Monday morning. Couldn't find me a load. Then some loads I get, they agreed to the rate and all that. I'm already on location. Then my dispatcher say the guy just ghosted him. He won't pick up his phone no more. And there was one lady coming back in town from New Mexico, and going through Midland, this little gas company. There was a load over there. She said, "Oh, I got a bunch of loads I need hauled out today." I get over to Midland, and at first she was all bubbly, great energy. I called the lady back. It was like she was scared, or like someone had got in touch with her and told her, do not give me a load. And it sounded like she had been threatened because she was scared. It was a little fear, startled, and said she didn't have any load. Hurry up, and hung up the phone. Whole energy was different. Been through credit card fraud, Amazon accounts open. Talking about the account was open remotely. One account was open under a Charles something, and a couple of other accounts was open under a Destiny B. And the TV at the house was set up under a Destiny B. So I'm thinking that X was plotting this for a while now. And also, the second X, I've never had a Snapchat. Never had a Snapchat. I couldn't tell you how the format looked on there. So she was like, do you have a Snapchat? I was like, no. She was like, it's a Snapchat open under your number, but it's under a Destiny B. I can only imagine what's on there, but I didn't even go to it to see, because it should have an IP address of where that account really came from. But I didn't even go. Never had a Snapchat app or none of that. So it shouldn't have my IP address. They should be able to prove that. The X and I guess the police or whatever, they got the community. They tried to get my the 88 Caprice I was working on. I had it parked at the edge of the road till I got it fixed. I think it was January 30th, about a year ago, last year. I got the little orange sticker on the car, you got 3 days to move it. So I moved it to a lot that I bought. January 31st, you get the certified mail where you got to sign for it. That letter came to my house or whatever after I moved it to the lot. It's 3 vehicles at such and such lot. You got 3 days to move it, but they got their way of stealing your cars. They used to just keep getting a little sticker now, but they got the little community got some places you got to leave it up there for 30 days, and I guess the little tow truck company, they can get it switched over to your name. They brag about stealing the whole Walmart in their community, and they say the stuff was coming off the truck, and then in the back of their cars, and off the delivery truck into the back of their cars, and in the back of trucks. They say Walmart just eventually packed up and left, and they turned the Walmart into a school. Yeah, so I've been through a lot over the years. Even coming from homeless, I started, I was in Bryan then. It was a little place called Labor Ready. I worked myself up from there, made a deal with the Lord. Like, Lord, if I get back in the church, I pray that you turn my life around for the better and bless me for it. Did that. I was working on getting my CDL then. I went to a driving school. They had a little deal going on at Workforce Commission, to where if you didn't make so much money, it was like a little government deal in Texas Workforce. So it was through Blinn Truck Driving School, in Texas Workforce. I did all that, took all my tests, passed that. I slept a few nights in my truck. I had an old white truck, old white Chevy. So pretty much, I done had some nights I had to sleep in my vehicle. Got my first job at the feed mill. Yeah, my first trucking job. So I had to take whatever came first. Like I said, I was sleeping in my truck. There'd been nights I had to sleep in my truck. So worked my way up. Then, ran across the first X or whatever. Then, matter of fact, while I was at the feed mill, that wasn't the first time my pops tried some stuff like that. It's like it's starting to come together now. One time I was over there, and just chilling with him, just try to get along with him, honor thy mother and thy father. Then one morning I got up, I was thirsty like I had never been before. I mean, I didn't drink before, and sometimes you wake up thirsty, but this was different. I ended up going down the street and got the Blue Icy. And I mean, I didn't care. I was so thirsty, I didn't care about the brain freeze or whatever. I might have got 2 of those. I stayed about 45 minutes away. By the time I got home, that Blue Icy was coming out the top end and the bottom end at the same time. I'm sitting on the commode and throwing up at the same time. Blue coming out of both ends. Yeah, he might have tried to do something to me then. Another situation on that. He got mad one night because I beat him in dominoes, which I don't even know. He know he can't mess with me on no dominoes anyway. And he got mad and got to tripping. I just went to my truck and went to sleep. He called the police in Burleson County and said that I did something. Then that's the first time his ex-wife, now I guess she done got the money and left. Had a load over there, and one of the people told me that she done left him for one of her cousins now. So he done sent off all my college education money for her. And she helped him get it though, because I spent my last year in school with them. And this always stuck out to me. She asked me, how did you sign your name? I didn't sign anything. I just went and got a piece of my homework and showed it to her. I guess she went off and talking about, oh, you kind of write like your daddy. But that always stuck with me. Like, why do you want to know how I sign my name? But I didn't sign nothing. I just showed her a piece of paper with my name on, a piece of my homework. That always stuck with me. They might have forged my name for my inheritance money. But I gotta find someone to fight that for me. All the any number of corruption going on around here in Texas, this little area. Because under the Brady rule, the Brady law, any evidence that can prove me innocent is supposed to be brought up at pretrial. They knew about the weapon. They knew about the fake pictures in my phone too. They blocked all that, tried to cover all that up. They knew that he had another assault with a weapon in another county. They blocked it. The judge granted it. So you got all kind of judicial misconduct, prosecutorial misconduct. They knew all this stuff and still had to cover it up. Then he jumped ship on them literally. It got to where the point they was trying to call him crazy and incompetent because of the incident. But come to find out, the time we went to court before we finally went, this was going on about 5 years now. I'm in Brenham. That's when I talked to my uncle's ex. That's how I know they was changing that stuff too on their will money, because his money, my Uncle D's money, was supposed to go to his wife. She said that family cheated her out of her money. My Uncle D's wife. They say so. I know they got some pull with their family lawyer and their family judge. That's another them two more involved in this corruption. But he jumped ship. He's supposed to be crazy, but he all on the cruise. Jumped ship literally. He on the cruise, supposed to be in court. Left them with it. Left them with the situation. My aunt was supposed to, that my lawyer said, to send her the pictures that they took of him on the ground to her phone. Why did you need to text an officer? I don't know which one of the officers it was, but it was one from Robertson County. Why would you need to text them and ask them to send you the picture if I sent the picture? She was supposed to testify in court. My dad's wife was supposed to testify. All of them names was in the paperwork. All of them jumped ship on them. Then how do you get back to the gun, back to the weapon? How do you don't get a spent shell casing without a 40 caliber spent shell casing without a weapon? Then one of the police that came in there to lie, they got this lie on the paperwork. My lawyer got it or whatever. Their little story. All they had was a bunch of lies. There is no weapon, but you got G-shot residue. You did a G-shot residue test on my hands, and it came up positive. So it was no weapon, or where did that come from? I mean, when you know the weapon is in Burleson County, and they hiding video footage of everything. So which one is it? Where did the residue come from? You got a 40 caliber shell casing, but it wasn't no weapon. Make it make sense. Help me work this out, America. But I'm crazy. I know they done went to academy and had to practice shooting, and know what happened every time they fire. You get a spent casing. Every time it fire out, every time that pin hit the back of the cap of the whatever caliber it is, that's how you need that firing pin though to make that happen. And the firing pin is in the weapon, but there was no weapon. Let them tell it. But you got a G-shot residue test, a positive one, but there was no weapon. So that's like a contradiction of your own story right there. That's perjury right there on paper in my lawyer's hand. So first it was, he didn't, the probation dude, he was like, man, you don't have no record? It's like he couldn't believe you had nothing on your record. I'm like, no, but they covering up all his dirt. They covered up that crime. He already had a DWI, probably on paper for that, and still got off in 2 counties for the same violent crime. Covered up his old violent crimes, his domestic violence. But he already said he's more powerful than any judge in the area. I don't know if it's because there's a little cult or he got something on him. They done took bribes from him. I mean, because I know these people not putting a possible freedom on the line for nobody for free. They freedom and their career on the line for nobody for free. So I seriously doubt that. I really seriously doubt that they doing all this corruption for free. But my dad's side of the family, like I said, it's oil field money, oil field checks that my uncle was getting, which he magically ended up missing after my mom said that he told my mama that my dad went to Louisiana to try to get voodoo put on her and get a hit put out on her. She was like, right after that, they didn't hear from my Uncle D again. He was gone right after that, after he said that. And just like my uncle's wife that told me that I was a trust fund baby, she said, don't tell him I told you. But in the middle of her telling me that, she gets a call from my dad's wife. It was coincidence. Could be coincidence, but I say, do y'all talk often? She was like, nah, we don't never talk on the phone. But coincidentally, in the middle of her telling me that, she gets a call from my dad's wife. I think me and her was on my cousin's phone when she told me this, and my dad's wife called her on her phone that night. A few weeks later, she was gone. Then it was one day, another. I was in the car talking to the woman I'm with now. I was like, look, there go a hole in the car. I guess could have been from the 40 caliber, but it could have been from, I guess, what the neighbor involved in. I say that might be that hole from the night I was attacked. The next day, police rolled through there, had that car hauled off. I got it on the Ring camera footage too. I got it saved. The very next day, we said this in my truck. That wasn't the first time I said something in my truck because it was like a Krispy Kreme's ended up burning down. I'm like, that's weird. That seemed like an insurance scam right there because it was a brand new one. I guess it wasn't doing too good. Next thing you know, I heard it on the radio. Well, I seen the building, but I said it. Next thing you know, it was on the radio. Krispy Kreme owner goes to jail for insurance scam. I'm like, are these people listening to me? But Yeah, been going through a lot. So now that I'm speaking out, they want me to come in. You know, I know they want me to go crazy. I mean, a lot of people that went through this stuff have unallowed themselves. That's not gonna happen. I'm not doing nothing to myself. I'm not gonna act up or whatever, give them no benefit of the doubt, or give them no reason to say I'm crazy, because that's really all they can do and want to do. Probably what they said in that family case, that I was incompetent for the money, when probably what they used in that case, and ain't really got nothing else to go on. So I'm not gonna give them that either. I'm clean, don't do anything. I'm not gonna mess up my livelihood. I worked too hard, worked my way from homeless to my first home, because the first ex-mama, that she was like, she wanted us to break up or whatever, and I done redid her whole bathroom for her. I didn't charge nothing. It was just for me to be just a good deed. I try to do my good deeds, and that's how you get your blessings. Painted a favorite color, lavender, fixed the hot water in the sink, and fixed the hole in the floor. I redid it. I might post it. Just a picture of the bathroom. Jesus must have left me some of his carpenter skills. Yeah, been going through it, but just waiting on God. That's all. So, no lawyers all the lawyers in the area know all this stuff is illegal. They know the law, but don't nobody want to file no charges. It's a whole little organization. It's RICO case. All this stuff going on. Honestly, the biggest RICO case in U.S. history. But ain't nobody want to fool with it. So, like I say, don't nobody want to help in the area. So I wrote the FBI. I wrote the Department of Justice. You know, they supposed to investigate stuff like this. Let them know it might be they might be involved in trafficking too. Some little young girl came to that house across the street too. I mean, she was like light skinned, cheerleader skirt. It wasn't a cheerleader top, but you know, she was way too young. So I got away from that street. I've been through a lot there. I was like I said, I was planting St. Augustine because it grow wild behind my AC unit, and I was just planting it closer toward the road, so just water it, it'll grow, it'll start spreading after it catch. I was doing that day, and I walked up to the Ring camera and set it off on purpose. I put that into him, because you can't go to the locals and get no justice. I mean, he got a whole criminal organization going on that block. He cut the dude grass. That's in my I got all that on my Ring camera, in my phone, in multiple phones. Trying to get in touch with news agencies, Innocence Project, ACLU. Mighty strange how nobody want to get this. Nobody want to pick up on this case with all the evidence. Multiple. I'm talking about the same cars every day, all day. On my Ring camera, I got all that footage. I got the footage of the chief cutting the dude grass, and his brother. The chief was on this yard this day. He was on the little lot I was supposed to buy. And funny that day, it was only me and him bidding on it, and I guess the rest of the town knew not to try to go against which property the chief wanted. I guess they knew the consequences of that. They might need to look into how many properties he's acquired from people that went to prison. They done auctioned off their land, or they might need to look into that too. Ain't no telling what they got going on over there. But anyway, that's how he ended up getting caught in that lot. He right across the street, brother cutting the other lot. His little skinny brother that stayed down about 500-600 feet down the road or whatever. The brother come over there every day. Little, you can tell something wrong. He's small. I done watch this one girl. That's the one. When the girl came, he didn't open that door that day. The dude across the street, he didn't open the door because I was outside. But I wouldn't set my Ring camera off to get, footage of it. But come to find out, young girls have been coming up missing. Truckers against trafficking. Just notice it, but you can't say nothing around there because the one that's supposed to uphold their oath and protect and serve is the criminals. But they got help. They don't get in trouble. They in the news all the time. They never get in trouble. Never. They got backup. They got people that look after them. The same little cult. Just like on that Netflix series, that Monster, had the monsters that allowed there for the longest until, in my opinion. But I only think they went after him because he had video footage of everybody like the other guy. I don't want to say his name either, but the one that was found unalived in his cell. It's the only reason they went after him too. But the other guy that everybody want to see the records released to, the rest of them, they that same monster. They gon'. No, I'm not joining no cult. I can't sit by and watch that happen to nobody. And just couldn't look at myself in the mirror. Just doing innocent people like that. If they doing me like that, got no record, no nothing. Imagine how many people, innocent people, that got locked up for the rest of their life just because somebody with a badge wanted them to or wanted something they had. So I know it's a lady that said it, that the assistant chief got their son, Latino lady, and then he gonna run for sheriff. Who gonna vote for you? You run around doing this. Yeah, but that was weird too. I was telling you about me starting my business. The name came back as a Michael Wilson Jr. I'm Anthony G. Wilson Jr. Shoot, that's don't seem like just no typo right there. No, that's never happened before. I bet it haven't. They might have changed my name. They might need to check into that insurance policy too. My pops let me know that him and his ex-wife, now ex-wife, that was his wife back then, had a life insurance policy on me. They might need to check and see if he might have cashed that in already. For my name coming back as a Michael Wilson Jr. But that's why I contacted the FBI too, because they know where a shell casing came from. They can tell who purchased it and matched it, and so they know where they can figure out where shell casing came from. But I reached out, like I said, in the last administration, this administration, I wrote Washington, Houston, and Dallas. I ain't heard nothing. They ain't came ask me about no possible missing girl. The girl, he didn't answer the door. That girl, that young girl, she ended up walking up the street, and the guy came in the black Impala. Then he came to the door, the guy across the street in the black Impala. He stayed right down the street by the chief too. And I guess he went up the block after the girl, but I've seen him try to get young girls in his car. He had their phone, and she did not want to get in that car. This was a different incident. But the guy, he got a baby by the girl. I was like, I'm watching her disappear. She was kind of heavy set at first, but she moving on, going on skinny, working on skinny now. So it ain't no, they can't find nothing. The first ex, she tried to keep my truck, 2011 Chevy Silverado. I went to the police station, sheriff office. I just wanted somebody to ride over there so it wasn't no incident, because I was through with her. I just wanted to get my truck with peace, because they was like, nah, we ain't gonna be able to do it. They wouldn't help me get my truck. Then I guess her dad came and moved down with her from Dallas, and one day it was just parked in front of the yard with a bleach smell in it. So finally got my truck back. She left the keys in it. And I guess the dude across the street had his son with him one day. And he saw that truck and he got to running across the street. He never did that. So him and that ex must have started talking. And they say she got skinny now. That's how they can get that number to his number. Investigating fraud from her and more fraud from her. I got a call too, but fraud from her, and I'm pretty sure they was talking because that little boy started running to that truck. So, and the brother come to the chief brother go over there every day, going by the year back every day. It's 2026. They ain't sending no Raven or no carrier pigeon or no smoke signals. And he got to call or text or something every day to back up my story. Them calls got to call or text every day. Shoot, yeah. You know they couldn't find nothing. They didn't know they couldn't find anything. That ought to lead down a whole rabbit hole. Ain't no telling how deep that rabbit hole go with all the stuff I've been going through. No telling how many people connected to that. Shoot. Then they can get that out my phone. Whatever they try to do, they can get that information from my ex out my phone. I'm gonna leave that number too to the that one phone number they planted. I ain't gonna leave it in this video, but I'm gonna leave that number to that phone on one of these lives, because they can't find nothing over here on what I'm talking about, because it's on my ring footage. Same cars every day, 5 years looking at it, all day, all night. And they trying to set me up for 40 years. Either make me take probation for 10 years or 40 years of prison, knowing that I'm innocent. You got the casing from what I'm telling you I was attacked with. The same I'm telling them before I even knew they had a casing from it. I'm telling them in the jail that I was attacked with one. And you got one that you can trace that shell casing back to who bought it, to him, but he got it from my brother. He's gonna come in my pop's name or his youngest son's name. They ain't try to chase that. They tried to frame me for it, make me take the fall for it. So now that I'm speaking out, they want me to come to the probation office Tuesday. So I'm over here in Louisiana now, Sunday night. Start the load Monday, see if I can get it changed. I tried to call them Friday. I called about 30 times. They didn't want to answer the phone. One time the lady picked up and hung up. So I'll try again tomorrow. They ain't been wanting me to get down there. So, and like I said, I ain't done nothing wrong, whatever. I'm clean, because I might have to get me another job now. Walmart, y'all ought to hook me up just for some get back. Come drive for y'all. They took y'all whole store. That's what they say anyway. But so I might just have to drive down there Tuesday morning or whatever, work tomorrow, drive back. But now that I'm speaking up, they want me to come in. At first, he didn't want me in there. I keep telling you, a call. I think he wants you to come in. Let's see what this about. Now that I'm speaking up, they want me to come in. So, just telling you more about my situation, all the stuff that I've been through, and more on when I started my trucking company. Excuse me. I set up my insurance. and you got to set it up to where all your stuff show with the FMCSA. Then you got to set it up where it's showing the Safer app, and that had to be done before you can drive with this first company or whatever, the little starter company. So we already knew that was done. A couple days later, the insurance company then took me off to, I guess that was a way to stop me from getting loads or whatever. They took all that stuff because we just made sure that it was done, because it had to be done for me to haul loads for the company. They say it takes about 2 days for it to show up. They took it back, the insurance company took it back down. So they've been trying to stop my money. It's a whole lot of people working together on this. IRS refused my tax payment. Like, I wasn't driving the truck. They refused my tax payment, saying, we don't refuse payments, but I made sure the money was on the card. It's an ACH company you got to go through to, because you just can't pay it with the IRS. You got to go through an ACH company, and they had to refund my money back. They were like, oh, we don't, but they called and said that the IRS rejected my payment, which they had to. They wouldn't have had to refund my money if they didn't reject the payment. Talking about maybe it was not enough money in there. They wouldn't have to refund me if it wasn't enough money in there. So they must have had to reject the payment. But I ended up just having to mail it off, and it's been so much, it's hard to remember all of it. It's hard to remember all of it. It's been years of it. Been going through years and years of stuff. Years. Well, on the good note, my baby girl got first place on her test. I help the kids with their homework and stuff. I'm always the math, whatever. I always got to help with the math, but I break it down to the kids in simplest forms. Help them with their fractions. It's like 1/4 is not, what is 1/4 out of 4? 25 cents. Just make it simple for them. I still show them how to turn the fraction into a decimal. You know, put the 1 on top in the middle, the 4 on the left, and they still show them how to do their work. But you know, what's half of $1? 1/2, 50 cents. I'm not breaking it. But you first got to get them to stop fidgeting and stuff first. And so, what's 3/4? What's 3/4 is 75 cents. There you go. Do 100 divided by 4. 25. Multiply that by 2. There go your 50. Multiply that 25 by 3. 75. That's 3 different ways to solve one problem. So ain't nobody incompetent at all. So just waiting on God through this situation. I don't put that last part on him. I don't want to confuse them with more math. I just break it down to the money. It was 1/4 out of 4 quarters. They always say, you should have been the math teacher. But my baby girl got first place, and they had to travel this weekend. She got first place. And they had to go take a test in Bowling, Texas or something over by Lamar. My baby got first place. I ain't not able to reward her for her good deeds. I'm a flatbed owner operator and barely can pay my truck note and my big truck note. Struggling to pay that, but they want 50 more drivers. I finally asked for my all my settlement statements, so I can. But I already saw some. I done got charged multiple times for the same stuff, but I wanted all of them so I can dissect it. And then they can help me pay my truck note all of a sudden. But I still want because I'm missing some money. $34,000. I done got a $40-some statement, a $50-some check, and a $60-some check. And I'm a flatbed owner operator, and I'm working. I'm from Texas to Pennsylvania to Nevada, and been going to different states. No record, no tickets, no accident. They wanted me to take the fall for this though. And like I said, I've been reached out. I ain't reaching out to no FBI and out here messing up. None of that. What kind of sense do that make? But I wasn't messing up anyway. I'm getting my life right. Got back in the church and went from not knowing a lot of songs to buying me gospel CDs and to leading gospel songs in the choir. I lead a few songs in the choir now. I gotta find me a new church home now. They got to spreading lies about me and young children. And let me fix that date on the last video. It was September the 3rd, 2025. I had a load in Angleton and I saw her. But that was like me and her broke up because of something supposed to been happening with her niece, 11-year-old niece. It was September the 3rd, but they kept, I got to put my phone on airplane mode to record. Because it's like they can just cut this phone off, and this with a different company. Like they don't want it to come out. So they don't want this coming out, whatever been going on. Then when I try to upload it, it'll start cutting off and cutting back on. Every time I get to talking about it or try to send it, they don't want it coming out. But I'm going to stick to my truth. I'm not going to sit here in it and wait for their next setup. They already feel like they doing what they want to do. Then because they got somebody up above them that know all this stuff is illegal. The judicial misconduct, prosecutorial misconduct, planting evidence, go against the color of law. Under the color of law, that's illegal. So all these lawyers know all this stuff, but all of them in it together. So I file it with the Court of Appeals and look like I'm gonna have to do it on my own. I mean, that judge should know this stuff is illegal, unethical, with proof. Or we just gonna see how high it goes. But I'm hanging in there through it. I started me a GoFundMe. If you can help in any kind of way, I would appreciate it. Like I say, I'm doing what I can, not really getting, like last week I didn't even make a check. They saying I owe from the week before. All my fuel charges and all them taxes had already been taken out of there. Plus I'm looking at, like I say, multiple fuels from different weeks. I got charged for the first week of fuel about the first 4 checks, and then they add the other on to it. I already saw that in just the one that I had, the statements that I was getting. So I asked for all of them, and then they offered to help pay my truck note. I'm missing a lot of money, $34,000. Even with their percentage, I think it came out to $25,800. That still would be enough to pay my bills. They would like promise me like a $2,500 a week. I'm seeing $40, $50, $60 checks. But they saying they doing it right. Don't sound right. But I already know that's the MO. Try to drive you crazy. Got the little companies, little people calling in for the bills. If I ain't got it, I ain't got it. I can't do nothing about it. God will work it out eventually. Just letting you guys know what's going on with me. So my Cash App is Wilson's Way. Let me just make sure. I mean, in case you guys do decide to help, I ask that you share my story and get it out to other people, because they don't want it coming out. They don't mind sending innocent people and other people to prison, but they'll do whatever they have to keep from going. That's got to be in the top 4 people that deserve to go. Somebody that'll set an innocent person up, knowing that they're innocent. Got to be the top 4 people that deserve to go. I think it's in the description on my okay. My Cash App is money symbol, capital W, I, and the rest of them, only the W's are capital. The money symbol, capital W, ILSONS, capital WA, $ Wilson's Way. I mean, anything helps with what I'm going through. And I'd appreciate it if you just share my story with someone else. But as far as doing anything, like I said, I'll file it myself. I already went up there. I went up there to the 10th Court of Appeals and talked to them. And they said, you can file it after so long under special circumstances. There shouldn't be no circumstances more special than this. Because I've been going to lawyers. Don't want to, all them trying to protect them. The crooked judges and crooked police officers, they trying to protect them. Or they little cult or whatever. They cult members. I done went to and reached out to the Texas Rangers. Shoot, little shows I watched that solve cases. So I'm just gonna keep on praying until something happens. Try to give me some sleep. Like, comment, leave your comments, your thoughts, and share my story with somebody else. Later.